What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Auto Auction Rebuilds. I wasn't going to make this video, but I've had a lot of you asking kind of for a finale of what happened with the fireman down the street that ended up throwing rocks or pecans, acorns. I'm still not sure exactly what he threw, but what is the finale of that encounter? And I'm here to tell you about it right now. I've learned something since then. Number one, not only is he a fireman, he is the chief of the volunteer fire department here in Byers, Oklahoma. That's right. The guy that literally committed a felony on camera is the chief of the fire department out here in Byers, Oklahoma. Not only that, but he's a very good friend of the mayor's who lives right behind me. Not only that, he is on the city council. This is crazy to me because this is a guy that, I mean, let's be real. Byers, Oklahoma is a, can you call it a town? A city? I'm not sure what exactly it's called, but it's a very small place, all right? There's like 250 people that live here. It's probably the smallest place you've never seen. And you blink, you go right through the town. I mean, one in and out the other. It is so small. With that said, I want to make it very clear that I'm not throwing any shade at the town of Byers. The people out here have actually been really nice to me, very welcoming, very warm, friendly people. I've got absolutely nothing against the people of this town. They have all been very nice to me, especially welcoming an outsider into their small community. And that includes the mayor. He agreed to let me come out here, not to buy the house, obviously, but I actually got permission from the county, which is McLean County, as well as permission from the city of Byers to start my car lot here. So a lot of you have asked questions. How do my neighbors feel about me having cars in my yard and trashing up the area? Well, the neighbors don't mind, guys, and I have every right to do what I do here because I literally have permission from the county and I have permission from the town of Byers as well. So this is a commercial location. It may look like a house up front with a shop in the back, but this is a commercial location. I have commercial insurance on the property. I have commercial insurance on my cars. The cars are titled under a business name. Everything is under a commercial name out here. So the neighbors aren't concerned with the cars. In fact, 9 times out of 10, if they see me out there, a neighbor will stop by just to chit-chat, look at a couple of the cars, and just talk to me about them. And occasionally they talk to me about what I do. The kids out here absolutely love me. They're always coming over and saying, "Hi, Randy," seeing how I'm doing. What I'm trying to say is I don't want the actions of this one individual to affect everybody's view of the town of Byers, because I can assure you the people here are wonderful, nice, genuine people. Some of the nicest people I've ever met in my life. So what happened with this one guy? I have no idea. If you missed the video, it has almost 10 million views on the short. That's right. It's my most viral video ever. It's like gone super viral as far as I'm concerned. 10 million views is absolutely incredible. And it's still getting hundreds of thousands of views every 48 hours. So what this guy's deal is with me, I'm not entirely sure. There's been a lot of speculation that I drag race up and down the streets, and that must be why he threw the stuff he threw at me. It must be because he got tired of me drag racing up and down the street. Nothing could be further from the truth. I did learn this about a week ago. I got into it with somebody on YouTube in the comment section of that video who was saying that people are out here drag racing up and down the streets and doing donuts. And it's true, because in front of the general store down the road here, there are literal donut marks all over the place where somebody was out there doing donuts. Here's the thing. Several people have heard the noise, heard the racket, and they've seen it being done, and they assume that because I have a yard full of nice, well, relatively nice, relatively high-performance vehicles out here, that it's me. It must be me. And I guess there's more than a few people that are fed up with it. And I don't blame them. I would be too. However, this is the problem. They're wrong. It's not me. I'm not doing donuts. I'm not drag racing up and down the street. I have a set spot where if I'm going to do a burnout or if I'm going to stomp on the throttle, I've got a place that I can do that, and it's not in front of anybody's house. It's not going to affect or interfere with anybody's day in any way, shape, or form because it's in the middle of nowhere. And that is how I've grown from where I used to be. You know, the people out here didn't seem to mind that kind of stuff back in the day, but it's something that I thought about and was like, I wouldn't want somebody coming to my town and acting a fool. I wouldn't want that. So that's not what I'm going to do out here. With that said, I have encountered the Fireman once before, and I was not aware of that until recently, but people out here talk. That's the beautiful thing about a small town. I mean, it's a positive and a negative, but I've talked to some people, and this guy and I have encountered each other before when I was in my Maserati. I was going up the road. I was not going fast. You guys might remember I had a Maserati Quattroporte and I put an X-pipe on. That's all I did. It was a pretty rowdy sounding car after that X-pipe install. Well, I was driving up the street and it sounded really loud. I'll be the first to admit, it sounded like it's a Ferrari engine. The 4.7, it was a Quattroporte S. It's a Ferrari engine. It sounds mean. But the fact is, I wasn't doing anything crazy. In fact, that same, let me get my story straight here. The guy, the fireman, actually chased me down in his truck. I didn't realize this until recently. I didn't realize the same guy chased me down in his truck, and he had his camera phone, you know, out the window. And I thought it was a subscriber. I thought it was somebody wanting to get a video of me doing a bird out or something. I was already on the outskirts of town, heading towards the I don't want to call it a highway, but it is a highway. It's a highway. Not an interstate, but a highway, back like a state highway. This guy, I turn around to see what I can do for him. Polite, because I assumed at this point he was a subscriber. And he goes crazy, screaming and cussing, and my driving, he's reporting me to the police. And I was like, I hadn't even done anything at this point, other than the exhaust. And here's the best part, the part that I almost revealed to you too early. I was on a flat tire. I forgot. The Maserati would occasionally go flat. While I left the car sitting, I was literally rolling on a flat tire. How fast could I be going? How fast could I really be going? I had a flat. I couldn't do burnouts. All right. I turned around and I was crippling the car home. This guy was so loud and just obnoxious and nosy and just everything you hate in people, right? He was all of it. I did not realize that was him. I don't remember what the guy looks like, but that was him. And he was mad and angry because I was in a Maserati that sounded fast, even though I wasn't doing anything wrong at all. How could I be? I was driving on a flat. So I guess this guy's already encountered me once, and it wasn't pleasant because I said some choice words to him. Look, I know the old saying that respect is earned, but I don't necessarily agree with that. I think people should just respect one another as a common courtesy, unless somebody does something that doesn't deserve that respect. You should just be respectful of the people around you. And generally, I'm a very friendly, relatively nice guy to people, unless you cop an attitude. If you got something to say, then I've got something to say too. And all that respect and nice kindness goes out the window pretty quick. Well, he rubbed me the wrong way that day, and he said some nasty things to me, and I said some nasty things back as and drove away. That was my first encounter with the fireman, chief / city councilman. Then I had no idea. Well, my next encounter was when he threw stuff at my car. Now, again, this just completely blows my mind. Number one, first and foremost, this guy is a fireman. He is the chief of the fire department. This guy is also on the city council. On top of that, this guy is like 65 years old. All right? You can't tell me that you don't know better. If he's got a problem with me, being that he's on the city council, everybody here knows everybody, and everybody knows me. All right? Nobody here has a problem with me, except for this guy. If he had an issue with me or the way I was driving, he could have come to my house. When I'm here, you can clearly see that I'll be out here working. I've got cars, I got a camera, I got the doors open, whatever. It's obvious that I'm here. He could have come out here and just had a grown man-to-man conversation. I'm not talking about fist fight. I'm not talking about screaming and cussing. I'm talking, we could have had a conversation, and I could have set him straight that what he thinks I'm out here doing is not actually me. I wouldn't blame him at all for being mad if it was actually me that's out here terrorizing the neighborhood, but it's not. And I got to witness it for myself just the other day. I was out here with Justin Wheeler from Truck Central, amongst other channels. The dude's got a lot of channels. I was out here with him and somebody that was with him, and we all got to experience people drag racing up and down. It's I mean, I don't want to say drag racing. Nobody was racing one another, but burning the tires, going down the street, flying by. They'd get by the house and they'd smash on it, and it's obnoxious and loud. I'll be honest with you, I don't care. It does not bother me if people are flying up and down the street. As long as nobody's getting hurt, well, that's fine. But, if a kid or a neighbor's animal or something gets hurt, that's a different story, because the speed limit through here is 35 in the town part, and then right back up to 45 as soon as you get through it. Literally 2 seconds of 35 miles an hour, and you're back up to 45. However, semi-trucks, motorcycles, work trucks, construction companies, everything, they all fly through here 60 miles an hour all day long. Guess what? I'm not out here throwing rocks at people. Motorcycles fly through it. I'm not out there throwing rocks or anything at them, because it's just not right. Number one, it's a felony to throw something at a moving vehicle. Literally a felony. I could have had him arrested. The cop asked me if I wanted to press charges, and my response was no. And a lot of you are not going to understand that. A lot of you are going to say I'm stupid, I should have had him arrested. He's my neighbor. Okay, and this is before I even knew anything about him. I didn't know he was the fire chief. I didn't know he was on the city council. And to be honest with you, I wouldn't have cared. I still don't care. I don't give a damn who this guy is. You could be the prince of motherfucking Byers, Oklahoma. I don't give a shit. All right, if you act a fool and you disrespect me, then I have no respect for you regardless of what your position is in the community. I don't care. So, like I said, I just recently found all this out. And when I found out, my response to the person that told me was, am I supposed to be scared? Am I supposed to be shaking in my... I don't give a damn. I own this house, this property, and everything here and in it outright. 100%. This belongs to me. I pay my taxes every year on all of this property. I don't give a damn who you are. This is my house. This is my land, and you can take a flying fuck. All right. Now, with that said, I apologize for the language, but this whole thing has been... It's just... This is a grown man, 65 or so years old, literally throwing stuff at a moving car because he thought that I was doing something that I shouldn't have been doing when I absolutely wasn't. And do you know, to this day, the man still hasn't made an attempt to step foot on my property and apologize? I'm not trying to fight the guy, but you should apologize. You're wrong. It wasn't me. There are people coming through here terrorizing these streets. I don't know who they are. They're not affiliated with me. But because I have a group of nice cars in the driveway and in the yard, automatically people think I'm out here terrorizing this community. I'm here to tell you it's not, and the guy was wrong. And he should apologize for his actions, because someone of that age, someone who's as involved in the community as he is, you should know better than to be throwing things at moving cars. Why didn't I have him arrested? He's my neighbor. All right, the guy lives up the street. He's my neighbor. I was trying to show some courtesy. I was trying to show, even in the face of disrespect, some respect for a guy that is my elder, some respect for a guy that's older and has probably been in this community long before I ever knew this town even existed. I could have had him arrested on a felony. The cop would have arrested him. He would have. I chose not to press charges. I simply asked the officer to please go down there and tell the guy not to be throwing anything at cars going down the highway. Now, with that said, I've had no problems out of that man since. I haven't even seen him out in his yard since that happened. Nothing has happened. Nobody's been harassing me or bothering me in town. It's been relatively quiet, and that's perfectly fine with me. So at the end of the day, I don't want to throw somebody in jail for my community. I really don't. And I don't want any bad blood with anybody out here either. I just like to come out here, do my thing, make my videos, play with my cars, and be left alone. Now, I don't mind when people show up and they talk to me and hang out or whatever. That's fine. But I don't want people bringing drama or trouble to my doorstep. Just leave that stuff out. Leave that out there somewhere, not here in my place. So as I said, it's been quiet. Nobody's bothered me. I haven't had any problems with anybody. I haven't seen that guy since. I haven't even seen him in his yard. He sure hasn't thrown anything at me. None of my cars have been messed with since that whole ordeal happened. And I'm sure he knows that it was on YouTube, because it's hard to miss 10 million views. And I'm pretty sure the long format video that had everything in it had at least 50, 60,000 views at a minimum. I think it was approaching 100,000 views. So I'm sure the guy knows that the videos are out there of him. But I made this video because a lot of you wanted an update to the situation. I didn't make a follow-up video because there really is no update other than who he is in the community. He's left me alone. I haven't had any problems out of him, and that's the way I want to keep it. So that's going to be about it for the video. But one thing I do want to point out is we all have bad days. You know, all of us have good days, all of us have bad days. Unfortunately, the 2 times I've encountered this man, apparently he was having a bad day on both counts. Now, the sad thing is this man hasn't taken the opportunity to get to know me. He doesn't know anything about me. He just assumes because I have fast cars in my yard that I'm terrorizing the neighborhood. I don't want this one person's actions to reflect negatively on the entire community. As I've said 100 times already, the people out here are some of the nicest people I've ever met and encountered, and they take care of each other, and I'm thankful that they welcomed me into their town. But with any community, you have good and bad apples, and I don't even want to go so far as to say he's a bad apple. I don't know the guy. He could be one of the greatest guys in the community. I have no idea. All I can tell you is that my 2 encounters with him have been extremely negative, and he's really been an asshole. And that's all I know about him, kind of similar to what he knows about me. He knows nothing about me, apparently, other than he thinks I am an asshole because somebody's out here terrorizing the town, doing burnouts and donuts, and it's not me. But he is determined that it's me. He's got his heart set on that, and there's not going to be any changing his mind, I don't think. Like, again, he may be a great guy. I honestly have no clue because I've only seen the worst side of him. With that said, you know, what he doesn't know about me is that when we had a car show out here, I entered my 1940 Chevy Masters sedan into the competition, and I won. Santa's Workshop was the one presenting. He was the one speaking and handing out the awards. I won the car show. It was hosted by Fowler's General Store from Tristan and Bo, the owners. I won, I think it was $300 for first place with my vehicle. I took that $300 and I gave it right back to the General Store for them to donate on my behalf to the community center to help feed the elderly. Now, I'm not saying this looking for recognition. I don't need your praise. I don't want your praise. I didn't do it for that. I did it to help the community. I entered the car show because I wanted to do something fun. I had a great time, and I got to meet a lot of people in the community, and that's what it was about, getting to know more of the people in my community. And if I can do something to help out people in my community, I want to do that as well. I may not live in Byers, Oklahoma, but I love this little town. I really do. It is the classic small town America. It truly is. And it is a beautiful little place that I hope to see get fixed up and really be brought back to its former glory. Back in the day, this place was magnificent. It was a big stop along the route for the gold rush out in California. There used to be military out here. There were trains that came through here. This place was happening back in the day, and I'm thrilled to actually be here, and now I am part of this little town's history, and I don't want this one guy to affect my opinion or my view of this town, nor yours either. He could be a great guy. Maybe I just caught him on 2 bad days. I don't know. I just know that I don't want to have any problems. I don't want any drama with anybody out here, including him. I wish him well. Just leave me alone. Don't mess with my cars. Don't throw stuff at me when I'm going down the road, and we'll be fine. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, do me a solid, hit the thumbs up button, drop your comments down below, and consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already subscribed. Until next time, stay safe out there, everybody. I look forward to seeing you all again very soon in the next one.